If you're an online coach and you're still chasing clients, following up, closing, handling objections, trying to get people into your program, I'm gonna completely shift how you think about client acquisition in this video so that you can stop selling and start hand selecting who you want to work with. And if you're new to the channel, my name is John Whiting. I've scaled 3 online businesses past 7 figures. I sold one of them in 2019, worked with a ton of online business owners just like you, and my goal is to help online coaches scale to 50 to 100K a month in take-home profit, then take that profit and turn it into actual accumulated wealth in the bank account so that one day coaching becomes optional. And if you want more videos on how to scale your coaching business in a way that doesn't suck, check out the rest of this channel. But before we dive in, I think it's important to illustrate the power of selecting versus selling. So I made this post on Instagram, I guess it was 5 days ago, and I'm just gonna read it for you so you can understand the story in the context of why I rejected a paid in full to my core program called the Bulletproof Boardroom. I said, for context, this guy is a big name. You would know him. You'd probably know him. Last month in August, I opened 10 boardroom seats. On August 30th, he began his application but didn't finish it. On August 31st, the next day, applications closed. On September 1st, selections were made. So I go through applications and I select who I want as a client. Then September 12th at 12:58 a.m., which was a Saturday, he sends me a deposit. Now, this is 12 days late and enrollment had closed during that time period. And the deadlines are clearly stated in our application and deposit process. So you can see right here the thank you page. It says, we will review your application and let you know our decision within 24 to 48 hours via SMS and email. That's pretty freaking clear. Then that same day, September 12th at 4:34 p.m. on Saturday, 16 hours later, he sends me the attached DM. Says, yo, we doing this? No message for a whole day is crazy, bro. Just refund it, man. Money loves speed. I do $1 million a month. I don't need to qualify. LOL. I would have paid a year in full. Bad business, bitch. He didn't say bitch. But here's the thing, Mr. Money Loves Speed was 12 days late. And when I'm qualifying my clients, I only take income into account as part of the equation. And to be clear, starting a relationship by criticizing me and dangling money in my face saying, yeah, pissed, I'm a pissed, that does not fly in my universe. And I truly give exactly 0 fucks about your piff if it's attached to that attitude. So there's 0 chance in hell that I'm spending a year with that. So what he could have said as an alternative is, hey man, I know it's a Saturday, but just wanted to make sure that this came through on your end. I know I'm late, but I'm hoping that you can make an exception. But no, shots fired. Absolutely unnecessary. Happy to refund you. Go bye-bye. And just in the last 60 days, I have rejected 19 applicants. And this is why my Bulletproof Boardroom is such a cohesive unit. It's because we only allow good people only, and I plan on keeping it that way. So just a quick reminder that the days of selling anybody with a credit card and a pulse are gone. In fact, it's costing you more money to sell those people than if you had just said, you know what, it's not a fit, thanks. The reason is your fulfillment costs to handle the non-good fit clients are going to go up and up and up. You're going to have to hire client success managers, administrative people, people to handle the bullshit. But if you only select clients that you've pre-screened and you know the criteria for what bullshit looks like, then you can weed it out. This is how I've gone from a team of 23 down to a team of 3. Profit margins have way more than tripled, and I don't need a setter team or a sales team anymore. That saves me about 20% in what I would have otherwise had to pay out in commissions. But it gets even more interesting than that. Over the following 7 days, literally within the last week, I immediately had 4 perfect fit clients apply and enroll. And that is 6 figures in new sales after rejecting someone who was dangling money in my face. And so I'm going to share with you a concept that is a piece of our Bulletproof protocol. And after I share that, I'm going to share with you how that fits into the whole protocol so you can kind of get the whole picture of our philosophy and how we get our clients to select who they want to work with instead of chasing and all of that stuff. And specifically, this is going to be coming from the mind section of that protocol. All right, so check this out. The physical universe that we live in operates on what's called a reverse vector system. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had a situation where you wanted a client really, really badly? Or maybe you wanted to date somebody really, really badly? Or you wanted money really, really badly? You ever notice that the more you want something, the more that it moves away from you? Check this out. When you want something, that equals lack, meaning you don't have it. And so when we put out lack, that thing moves away from us. And when we say that thing, we're just talking about a person, place, thing, or a circumstance, something that you desired. And so you ever notice that when you don't want something, you don't want something bad to happen, that thing moves towards you? Well, that is this reverse vector system at work. And so when you put out want, that means by definition you don't have it, and because we get back what we put out, that means we get back lack of having it. And so if you've ever heard the advice, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful, that's advice that's keeping you unsuccessful, or at least not as successful as you'd like to be, is because you're putting this thing on a pedestal, and when it's up there, you're down here, therefore not equal to it. So we got to bring you equal to it. And so there's this book that you can get in the description. The foreword is written by Dan Henry, but I'm going to fast forward here to page 126. And I'm just going to read a little bit of an excerpt here, okay? Money, growth, women, men, anything that you desire needs to be pulled towards you. Wanting pushes what you want away from you. So the reason that you aren't making seven-figure profits is because you want it too much. You're too emotionally attached to it. Have you ever noticed as soon as you stopped pursuing a relationship or money or a career path, somehow effortlessly that relationship or opportunity just kind of fell into your lap? Well, this is why. You stopped wanting and needing and you let it come to you. Well, how do you let it come to you? Nothing is attracted to the needy person. You must be attractive to what you desire so it wants you. And there's a difference between want and intention. Want is, oh, please, can I have, please, please, please. Intention is, it's gonna happen. It's a situation that I am designing to happen. So let's take a look at how do we design this thing to happen so that we can design our way to having clients come to us so that we can select them rather than going to them, pushing them further away and effectively repelling them. So if you're new to the channel, this is gonna be new for you. If you are an existing subscriber or even a client, you've watched some of my recent stuff, this is going to be a bit of a refresher for you. But remember, repetition equals certainty. So hearing something once is one thing, hearing it over and over and over again really ingrains it. So here's how we're going to reverse engineer this. So this is what we do with all of our clients. We treat everything like a map. And so we first find out where exactly, what is the location that our clients are at. And that is emotionally, financially, this is where we establish, okay, here's where we are. Then we establish where do we want to go. And then we reverse engineer it just like a GPS. And then we just basically follow that blue line. And so there's a couple ways to get off track. One is one of these emotional events happens in the middle of the road. Once we have the track set, just like you were on a trip driving your car, if you're feeling really angry and road rage, you might be blind to a situation in front of you and veer off the side of the road or be in an argument or be just really timid and afraid. And also you notice when you're really like afraid that something's gonna happen, it happens, right? That which you fear, you bring to you. So if you're fearing stuff happening on your middle of your road and you don't have a way of handling it, you're going to go off track. And it'll make you feel like this. We call that being mentally drunk. The other way of going off track is really wanting something over there a lot. Ooh, look, shiny object. Let's go fucking get it. Want it, want it, want it really bad. We call that being mentally coked up. In this book, I use this analogy of the two guys that go into a bar. One is the really nice guy, and one is the guy who's an asshole. You already know which one's getting laid. Why? Is because the really nice guy who really wants to get laid is just repulsive to women. If you're a woman watching this, let me know in the comments, right? If you're a man watching this, let me know in the comments. What has your experience been? So if we don't want something, it tends to move towards us. Guy doesn't really want these chicks. They're all beneath him. They all clamor around, right? That's what needs to happen with your clients. So how do we stop wanting these clients? Well, there's a few different things. First, I would recommend grabbing a copy of this book. There's a guided process in there where I walk you through how to neutralize your perspective so that you're not overly anxious and wanting, and you're not overly negative and apathetic and going blah, blah, blah. Because we need to look at things objectively. This is why Warren Buffett says if you can't manage your emotions, you can't manage money, and if you can't manage your emotions, you can't manage much of anything. And so if you're really harping on your team to go and close and pushing, and you're going and motivating and all this stuff, all of that is push, push, push. What we want to do is elicit a pull factor. So how do we do that? Well, first we have to neutralize this wanting 100K months or $1 million months and lots of profit and lots of money and all the free time and all this stuff. And we got to bring this back to reality. And we have to be pragmatic. In order to change reality, we need to face reality. So how do we know what reality is? Well, that's why we need to track our numbers. And this is why most coaches avoid tracking their numbers, is because reality looks like shit to most coaches. But unfortunately, the reality is what the reality is. There's an exact number in your bank account right now. It's either a number that makes you feel like you're hitting your full potential and you're constantly growing, or it's a number that reminds you that you suck, or at least makes you think that you suck. That's okay, but the sooner you look at it and the sooner that you can start understanding and really knowing exactly where you are and then defining exactly where you want to go, the sooner you can get exact directions, not directions of what you feel like. And then scaling becomes as easy as following the blue line. But most are too afraid to look at the reality, too afraid to look at their numbers, in which case you definitely need to go through the process in this book to neutralize that fear so that you go like, okay, got it. I'm going to objectively look at reality now, because what most coaches are doing is they're saying to themselves and the people that they're hiring to help them, oh yeah, I'm over here, things are XYZ, and well, the reality is they're here. And so if I am your coach and I take your word for it, oh yeah, you're right here? No problem. We'll just craft a fucking thing for you to make it blah, 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 blah. Well, then I'm gonna craft some directions like this. So if that's my route and I think that you're here, but you're actually down here and I give you that route, now you're gonna end up over here. And then you're gonna be like, this didn't work for me. Well, the reason is nobody wants to look at fucking reality. And so when you understand exactly where you are and exactly where you wanna go, you've done the math of how much you need to have an ad spend, how many pieces of content you need to put out, you're watching those metrics, you can start to predict, well, I'm gonna get this many people to take this action in this period of time based on these inputs. And when you do that, now you can create demand for yourself and for your services and for your products. And as long as you have less of a supply than you do a demand, well, now you can start selecting. And then you just get to a point to where you have so much demand that you can kind of sit back and reject people who are doing $1 million a month and genuinely be coming from a place of, I don't fucking need you. And that is the absolute best place to be coming from. It's what makes you most attractive, but most don't know their numbers, don't know what the inputs should be. They're arbitrarily selecting goals and they're chasing. And that's only going to lead to having everything that they're chasing move further and further away from them. But we gotta get you out of a place of wanting, needing, and chasing. And if you want my personal help on doing that, and you wanna see all of the details of what it looks like to be a part of our Bulletproof Boardroom, just click the link in the description, DM me the word bulletproof on Instagram at bulletproof.john, and my little ManyChat automation will send you all the details in an offer doc. And if it seems like a fit for you, then you'll know what to do, but it includes pricing and everything. And I don't have any setters or closers in there, and you don't even have to talk to me if you don't want. I'm not even going to message you. That just allows an easy communication channel in case you do have any questions for me that I can just kind of voice note it back to you. And that's pretty much it. Or if you're not ready for that yet, that's totally fine. I made a whole video last week breaking down how we did $355,000 in the last 45 days with no sales calls, and I walk through the whole strategy. So if that seems like a better next step for you, just tap on right here and I will see you over there. Appreciate you watching.